And greetings once again from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. High school football is back on the air on this beautiful Friday evening here in Northeast Wisconsin. I am Joey D. alongside John Dinsey, the coach John Dinsey, as we are halfway through our double header here of football this evening at Titan Stadium. Our second half here, it is the Dodgeland Trojans taking on the Oshkosh Lourdes Knights. Let's bring in my broadcast partner here. And it's a couple of schools that I personally have not had the opportunity to even broadcast, I don't think, in all the years that I've been here at the Score. So this will be a fun night to get to see, I guess, something new here, especially coming out of a different conference, the Trailways.
Well, let me tell you a little about Lourdes Academy. So
Good.
I was the activities director there about 7 years ago. And in this conference, I mean, this is Wisconsin small school football. You're getting, and especially with Lourdes Academy, you're getting a really good basketball program that was state runner-up last year. And in the small school, you get all your basketball players to play football in the fall, and that happened this year. So you're going to see Preston Riedinger and Jack McKellips and guys that you saw on the hardwood, you're going to see play football. And really, that's the key to small school football. I mean, you want your best athletes to be three-sport athletes. And what's happened is Lourdes started the year 4-0. They're getting the ball to their athletes. What's weird to me is really they're doing it behind a really good running game.
Yeah.
Right? Which you'd think, basketball and grass, get the ball out to your edges and you'll win football games. So that's a little bit about Lourdes. Dodgeland traditionally in the Trailways, up and down at times. I think the constant is Coach Miller. Coach Miller has been there. I wish I had it in front of me since I coached college football, which started in the early 2000s. I've known Doug Miller to be the head coach at Dodgeland. For Dodgeland, like a lot of small schools, you have to get the balls to your best players, right? So you're going to see a couple of them tonight in number 30, Seth Christopherson, and number 44, Nate Eistrick. And you're going to see them, again, on both sides of the ball. You're going to see them offensively. You're going to see them defensively. And that's what Lourdes Academy Dodgeland has to do to win football games.
Nate Eistrick is their leader. 555 yards on the ground, averaging 138 yards per game for Dodgeland, although as you can see their schedule, they do come in at just 1-3 on the season, coming off a very tough 40-2 loss against Marcus Zion. And they do come from the Trailways, one of them from the small conference, one of them from the large conference. And so it is Dodgeland and Oshkosh Lourdes Academy here this evening. We will take a time out here from our fine sponsors who help bring you our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games today of the week. We'll be back right after this.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make two bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Bringing it back here to UW-Oshkosh, a beautiful campus here in Oshkosh, as we are just about ready for game number 2 of our high school football doubleheader. I'm Joey D alongside Coach John Dinsey and our camera guy Adam Van Handel here. About to bring you Oshkosh Lourdes and Dodgeville. It will be Lourdes to set up on offense first, and boy, this high-powered offense led by Josh Bauer, talking with the coaches before the game, and he's been the key here. And as you were talking about when you were just talking about Lourdes not too long ago, he is a guy who got a lot of these guys to come out for this football team.
Well, I mean, Joey, I've been blessed to be able to be part of Lourdes Academy for a year and meet the families and be part of that environment and the family that it is a small school. And some of these kids, it was 7 years ago that I was there. So they were in middle school. They were 7th graders. And I got to see them last year play at state. And if you would have told me that Preston Reedinger would be playing football and one of their best players, I never would have believed you, because he is such a high-powered basketball player. In a lot of schools, you know, if you're in a bigger school, you're going to protect that kid. You want him to be healthy for football for basketball. And that's one of the things I love about small schools is, you know, he gets recruited by his buddy to make sure that he plays his sport too. And it's cool to see. And all those kids we saw in the state tournament, we're seeing a lot of them tonight play football, and ultimately it's great to see them have success trying something new maybe for some of them. But really it's good for the school as a whole. So yeah, I think it all starts with the quarterback, Joey. I mean, that's normally the way it is.
And we will see them first on offense. On defense here for Dodgeland, again, we're going to be calling that number 44 a lot, Nate A. Strike. You can see him right there on the screen, as he'll be both on offense and on defense here tonight, as we are just about ready for action between Lourdes and Dodgeland. Trailways large against Trailways small. And we briefly talked about this in our first game, which, by the way, Neenah victorious over Oshkosh West by 10, 23-13 was the final score in game number 1. But we briefly touched on this Trailways Conference. What do you know about the large and the small Trailways Conference? How different is it from what the rest of Northeast Wisconsin is here?
Yeah, I think when you're looking at small school football, I mean, the biggest thing you're going to notice, right, when you look at the sidelines, there's less kids, right? The enrollments are lower. These are some of the teams that you're seeing on the first day of the state tournament, right? You're seeing Division 7, Division 6, Division 5. But truthfully, within the state, I think one of the things people don't realize is the quality of football that's played at those levels. I mean, I think of the state of Wisconsin, and I think of Stratford, and I think of Edgar, and I think of Colby, and I think of some of these schools that we've known for years, St. Mary Springs and Fond du Lac, right? These small schools are some of the best programs in the state, and there have been times where Lourdes Academy is you know, a game away, 2 games away from state, and they run into that Iola Scandinavia team or that St. Mary Springs team. And the same thing with Dodgeland. Dodgeland, from my experience, has had some good teams, has had some really good players. We recruited a kid at Oshkosh that was a really good offensive lineman for us that came from Dodgeland. But what you can expect is kids playing both ways. That's what you can expect.
And it will be the Trojans to kick off to the Knights on a beautiful Friday evening here in Northeast Wisconsin. And we are underway.
It's a great kick.
Yeah, it was. Right on the goal line. He had 1 foot in, though, so it does go as a touchback. And so we will get to see this high-powered offense of Lourdes Academy come out first under quarterback Josh Bauer, who can pass the football, he can run the football. He's accounted for over 1,000 yards already, 694 through the air, 473 on the ground, and that's just in 4 games.
Yeah, they remind me of so many spread teams where they're going to spread you out, but they're going to run the ball. And Coach Miller flat out told us didn't mince words in pregame, we have to stop power, and you're going to see it right away. You're going to see out of spread, one back power.
Daniels swinging to the right side, a little pressure coming from behind, just decides to take off running. Doing what he does best, there he goes. Stepping out of bounds at the 45. A 35-yard pickup right out of the chute. It looked like he wanted to pass, but then just used his legs, took off running.
You know, so to the trip side, the number 3 receiver runs a really quick out, and he was actually wide open. They could have got him the ball, but the pressure came so quick that Bauer had to get out of the pocket. And Coach Wolpat told us before the game, they like their athletes in space against this Dodgeland team.
And the first run by a running back, I should say. Taking across for another first down.
Tim Call with the carry.
Call is second leading rusher, 220 yards, averaging 55 a game, so it's not just Bauer.
One thing that you'll notice when you watch Lourdes is they really, in their mind, and even how they list them, they play a fullback in spread. So what does that mean? He's down in a 3-point stance, and a lot of what he's doing might be read, but it's almost like veer. It's like veer offense, and you see it. It's just off-tackle veer. That's what that play is.
There goes Bauer once again on 1st and 10 from the 34. Again, a nice run up to the 15-yard line. So another nearly 20-yard carry for him, add on to it, and they are going to have it 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line.
That is off tackle. He reads it, pulls it, keeps it. That is old school veer. You would have saw it under center. If you know anything about Lourdes Academy, the quarterback coach Nick Benke ran that really successful back in his early career.
It's time to fake handoff. And he'll take off running to the left side, to the pylon, to the end zone. Touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run by Josh Bauer, and Lourdes strikes first.
Yeah, Coach Wolpat said it. I think we're going to say it all game. We like our athletes in space. Call dives off tackle. They read the defensive line. And I think if you're watching on TV, what you'll be able to see is either reading the 3 technique or the 5 technique. It's hard to see from here right now what they did, but clearly decided to pull, keep it. He's in space, and with the athletes they have, he's going to win in space. Tyler Johnson to kick the extra point.
And it is good. So that didn't take long. 10:35 on the first quarter clock. And the scoreboard reads Lourdes 7 and Dodgeland nothing. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors here, the Fox Community Credit Union Video Stream Games of the Week.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Back here at Titan Stadium. Quick striking offense of the Knights. They do it again, up 7-0 on their first possession. And the kick rolls into the end zone, and so we will see the offense of Dodgeland come out for the first time, and they are led by their quarterback, Ty Bader, but also look for a lot of Seth Christofferson and Nate Astrike.
And I think one thing we don't want to lose today is one thing to pay attention today is really Lourdes special teams and their kicking game. They have one of the best kickers in the state in Tyler Johnson. You just saw him put the ball in the end zone on a touchback. They also have a great punter in number 16, Gavin Myers. Been a big part of their success this year as their special teams.
Popped up the defense of Lourdes. And the first play for the Trojans, of course, goes to A-Strike. Nate A-Strike, the 5'11", 210-pound senior. He's been their leader on the ground, averaging in their first 4 games 138 yards a game. And 97 attempts, so he's approaching 100 carries on the season. But again, you'll see Christopherson as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Joey, what you can expect in small school football, trailways football, whatever you want to call it, right? You can expect the best players in the school, the best players on the team to touch the ball a lot. That's what you can expect.
And up under center, something that we didn't see very much in that first game. That's going to be another big difference between game number 1 and this game. And an official's timeout for an injury. Oh, you hate to see that. A-Strike was the carrier, by the way, again. So it's going to be 3rd down and short on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, what's interesting as you watch at home, right, is you're going to see different styles of offense, but some of what you're seeing is exactly the same. So, the shotgun stuff that you're seeing really the fullback dive off tackle, right? Aiming point is outside the tackle. They are reading a defensive lineman, whether it's the 3 technique or the 5 technique, and if he tackles the fullback, the quarterback keeps, right? You're seeing similar type offense, right, in some of the read stuff that you're going to see from Dodgeland. You're just seeing it under center. Now, on that last play, really it's split back, but it's really a similar concept. I don't know if there's any read with it, but we'll see that as the game goes on.
Still cannot catch a number. Laying flat on his back. I'm looking into the huddle. They better hope that it's not 44, is it?
No, I
don't think so.
I think it was one of the linemen. It
One of
looked
the
like someone
offensive
from the
linemen.
bottom of the pile.
So still being attended to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, the medical staff went out pretty quick.
Rolling
Anytime you see
over.
someone hurt.
Looks like is that a 7-0? John Appenfelt, 6'4", 260-pounder, sophomore.
Or number 78, Alex Nelson, who is one of the biggest players on the team, 6'3", 295. It's hard to tell from up here.
Is that a 0 or an 8? We are pretty far away.
We didn't get help with the numbers. I think it's 78.
It does look like an 8, yeah. He's a little bigger.
He is.
So,
He's a big boy.
Alex Nelson,
It looks
6'3", 295. Boy, you look up and down here. They got a lot of 300-pounders.
Yeah, and that was one of the things Coach Wopat said is they have size, right? You're going to see athletes in space. Get my athletes out in space, let them win matchups. But Dodgeland, when you look at their roster, they got some young but big and talented players up front. Unfortunately, we're 2 plays into the game, and one of them's limping off the field, which looks like a left ankle injury.
320, 310, 295, 330 is the biggest one that I see on here. And guess what? He's a freshman. 6'1", 330. Brendan Rushing. So he got some size. And, yep, favoring looks like the left ankle. Taken off by some teammates.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So after that, they will wind the clock, and it'll start back up at 9:35 left to play here in this first quarter of play. It's A-Strike once again, the ball carrier. And he's got a first down, diving forward. And the big fella moving the chains.
Just diving basically right off tackle again. You saw a little bit of motion, kind of move to what it looked like a 2-wide receiver set. But truthfully, it's simple football right now. Our offensive line against your defensive line, they get a push, and good things are going to happen.
Coach Wolpat said we got to be able to stop that big number 44. He doesn't get the ball this time, though. Still a positive gain, though.
Right, and you got to think about it from Dodgeland's point of view, right? Lourdes just had the ball. They moved the ball down the field very effectively, very efficiently, scored a touchdown, right? If Dodgeland's going to win this football game, they have to control the clock. They have to move the ball. They have to have long drives. And obviously the defense is going to have to stop Lourdes, but this type of offense plays to their advantage.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6 after that gain of 4.
This is the first real pro set you're seeing.
And to give it to the up back. Swings it back outside and swarmed by a bunch of black jerseys. And the ball carrier was Hayden Kurth, 5'6", 150-pound running back.
Yeah, great tackle by Caden Shire, scraping over the top as that ball bounces. Again, it looked like veer, right, off tackle, whatever you want to call it, and it ends up bouncing, which really is not the purpose of the play, and Shire's right there to stop it.
Yeah, we did talk with both coaches before the game, and we tried to record it, but it was just really, really loud.
It's homecoming, Joey. They were excited.
Yeah.
The band was playing. The music was going.
Yeah. So we could not find a very quiet spot to do the on-field interview because it was really loud. That pass falls incomplete. So both of them looking forward to tonight, and again, reaching the halfway mark at halftime tonight of the regular season.
I mean, it's a 3rd and long play, but I wonder if the quarterback – Ty Bader thought that he got a penalty there. It looked like the defensive lineman jumped and he snapped it before he got back, but no flags on the field, and Dodgeland has to punt.
So they do take a little bit of time off of the clock, but still forced to punt, and we'll see what you were talking about earlier, the special teams. See if that plays any kind of factor here on this play, on this 4th and 9. Under pressure. The kick away, and it is taken at about the 35. Slid out of bounds. It's Tyler Johnson that ran it back, and it'll be 1st and 10 once again for the Knights, and we will see them for the second time this evening. Scored on their first drive, on an 80-yard drive in only about 4 or 5 plays.
Yeah, it was a lot of Josh Bauer. That's what that was. I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, anytime you get to see a small school like this, and you get to see some of the best athletes in the school, right, that play multiple sports, it's really cool to see people like Josh who, he has skill set that can play across levels. He can play at Lourdes, but he can play at a lot of places.
Bauer to give to Call.
Good play call.
Bounces up to about the 48-yard line. A little pump fake after the handoff.
Yeah, and I say good play because they've been running really read, right? Veer, option, read. Basically 2-man option, though. Just fullback and quarterback. This time they motion the slot receiver in, and he blocks the read player, and they just give to the fullback. That's a great, not adjustment, but it's a great combo off that play.
And I'll give it to the man in motion, Caden Shire. He runs across midfield. He's got a first down into Dodgeland territory. Another big pickup and another first down by Shire.
That is how that play times out the way it does is absolutely amazing. I mean, for the fullback to have any chance to get out in front of that jet sweep, he has to be booking it to get outside, and he does. He lead blocks. Shire gets the edge, and again, Lourdes athletes in space. So far, what Coach Wopat wanted is happening.
Getting some more motion this time. The toss back coming to the near sideline is Preston Rudinger, and he's got some running space. He will get down to the 20-yard line, a 20-yard pickup, and another first down, and this time somebody else touches the football once again. They've had several guys who have been on the attack the first 2 drives. Just all kinds of weapons on offense.
I mean, obviously Dodgeland needs to stop. They need to change the momentum, but if that's going to happen, they're going to have to set the edge with their outside linebackers. And they're in a 4-4 defense. They have overhangs that are going to have to set the edge.
Pass is caught by Rudinger. And again, nice gain. This one about 9 yards, close to a first down, but it'll be second and short on the 11.
So, Joey, a lot of times the overhang defensively, we'll call those guys double-edge players, right? So they're going to have to play the run, set the edge, but they also have to cover, in this case, a slot receiver. You're putting them in a really tough position, especially if that kid's a better athlete than you. And what you see there is they're just out-leveraged, and ultimately the quarterback makes a good decision and gets them in space.
Bauer with the handoff.
Huge hole.
Near the goal line, diving across inside the 5 is Call once again. Tim Call, big fullback, and it'll be first and goal marked on the 1-yard line.
Joey, I think that's just fullback dive right there. Just follow the center and the guard, which I would predict is what you're going to see right here.
Well, he keeps it himself. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown for the Knights. A 1-yard touchdown run by Josh Bauer, and they're up by 2 scores on their first 2 possessions.
That's what I get for predicting right there. No, it's a really good job. Design quarterback draw. Call ends up taking the blitzer off the edge, and really no one there for Bauer in the hole, in space. Easy 1 yards, easy touchdown. Johnson
For
on
Bauer,
kick, the
his
extra point.
9th rushing touchdown of the season. And the extra point is good. So with 5:50 remaining in this first quarter, it's already Lourdes 14 and Dodgeland nothing. We'll take another quick timeout. We will come back with more on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
Back here in Oshkosh, new score, 5:50 left in this first quarter. It's Lourdes 14 and Dodgeland 0. Coach, they're making that look way too easy. It can't be that easy.
Sometimes it is, Joey.
Is it?
Sometimes it is. And again, Lourdes has a bunch of really good athletes, and I think a strike on
out
the
to about the
return.
31-yard line.
No,
It's
but
all
like-
right, you'll get it.
Like I was saying, Joey, I mean, Lourdes, when you're at a small school like Lourdes and Dodgeland, you're going to have these waves of classes that come through. And sometimes the run that you have, in sports is because you just have these talented classes. And you see it at Lourdes. You see their junior and senior classes in every sport they play. But just the athletes that they have, it's really hard to match up with that. And as good as Dodgeland has, 2-3 players that probably could play at any school in the conference, Lourdes just seems to have more of them so far.
Bader up under center, and flags fly. They're going to back him up 5 yards. Somebody jumped right before the snap. So the first penalty of the game, and it goes against Dodgeland.
Yeah, Caden Shire was up on the line, kind of dogging a blitz there, and didn't come, but ultimately made someone jump along the offensive line. So Dodgeland backs themselves up, and again, from what we've seen so far offensively and the way Dodgeland wants to play, they're not built to fall behind 14-0, right? So this is a big drive for them. They need to get some momentum back, and their offense is a way they've been able to do it all year.
Back to pass is Bader, and it's caught out near midfield in double coverage. What a catch by Caden Bruger, 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. And right at the 50-yard line, that's a first down. What a play.
Yeah, off the run looks that they've been showing fake play action, basically one-man route, just a corner route. And it's Bruger against, which, again, looks like number 5, Jack McKellips. And he just wins a jump ball against a basketball player, Joey.
Bader coming into this game, only 45 passes. And this time they are stuffed back across midfield. That'll be a loss of a couple. Second down and 12. A-Strike ran into a wall.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of Lourdes defenders on that tackle, but you saw number 64, Reed Spanbauer, and again, someone Coach Wolpat told us to watch defensively, said really has been a standout through 4 games for them. He also plays offensive line for them, but defensively has really done well when they review the tape through the first 4 games.
Second and 12. Back at the 48.
First twin set that you see. Top of the screen. Looks like twins. Backs a little bit deeper. It's a counter.
And on kind of the end around play there, and didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it looked like old school wing
Brugger
tee
again.
sweep there. I don't know if anyone pulled, which probably was a problem.
Down at the line of scrimmage here, so no gain. 3rd and 12 on the 48. Maybe try to use a strike as a blocker that time. But it didn't go anywhere. So here we go, 3rd down.
These are the spots that Dodgeland does not want to be in. I mean, 3rd and longs, again, offense really isn't built for these plays.
The toss back, upended, flipped right there at the 50-yard line.
Tyler Johnson.
Yep, there he is, Tyler Johnson, 5'10", 175-pound senior with the big tackle. And gain of 4, but it is 4th down and 8 now on the Lourdes 48, and they force the punt.
Yeah, we see Johnson at corner. We see him as a returner. We've seen him now as a kicker. Beauty of small school football, Joey, right here. Tyler's a really cool story. Someone I'll talk about as the game goes on. But like I had mentioned earlier, one of the best kickers in the state.
Well, that's a good way to keep it out of his hand is just kick it out of bounds.
Right? They can't touch it.
I want to thank our sponsors once again who make this happen all season long. Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Creative Imprint, and Julian Strategic Alliance Group. Thank you to all of them for hopping on board and bringing to high school sports. We'll roll on into the basketball season. We'll be here before you know it.
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
I mean, you said we're halfway through football season.
At the half tonight, it
Officially.
will be officially halfway through the regular season. Just unbelievable. And we're talking about clinching playoff spots already if Lourdes wins tonight.
I know for prepping for this game, when I saw 4-0, I was like, holy cow, we played 4 games already.
I take that back. They may have to win another before. At any rate, here they come once again.
This is the challenge that Dodgeland is going to have, right? The athletes in space, right? We've talked about it since the game started, but you're stressing those overhangs out to have to be able to cover the bubble you just saw and then tackle and set the edge on off tackle, right? So, you kind of have to pick your poison if you're the defensive coordinator right now.
Guess who was in on the tackle there? A strike. Well, he does it all for this Dodgeland team. And Bauer decides to take off running himself and add another 13 yards to his total into Dodgeland territory after a decent pickup. Another 1st down here for Lourdes.
Yeah, good play design, fakes the jet sweep. And again, you can view all of this as read, right? He's reading, player runs with the jet sweep, or the end widens, he keeps it. Big run by Bauer again. There's that nice off tackle play.
And they give it to the big fullback down to about 43-yard line for Tim Call.
One of the things to watch as you're looking at the game is one of the hardest things for a defensive lineman is to ask him to do multiple things. So you're asking him to read, go down the line and tackle the fullback. And then in that case, they block him, right? And then they're probably going to play action and boot. Your edge players are always the ones that really set the tone for the defense.
And Bauer once again takes it himself. He's got a 1st down. A-Strike could not bring him down. He's still on his feet inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. We don't see that too often. Just running right over A-Strike.
Yeah, and you saw it again there. The defensive end crashes down and takes the fullback. I mean, they are 100% committing the end to the initial running back, which means the linebackers are going to have to fill and tackle Bauer.
You can kind of see it down there in the lower part of your screen there. You can see it more when they're at midfield. Explain to us here after this play here. Bauer to give.
Great block.
Running around to the left side, and was he pushed out of bounds or not?
If you're watching at home and you watch number 36 playing fullback in a 3-point stance, and he sprints all the way to the other side of the field and gets in front of the jet sweep to lead block for that and throws an amazing block, the effort that Tim Call has to make on that play is absolutely the stuff I love about football, high school. It doesn't matter what level. That effort is absolutely amazing.
A 6-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd down and 4 on the 24. New running back into the game, and yet another 1st down. Handoff to Gabe Bone. 5'9", 215 pounds, only a sophomore, and gets a first down. It'll be first and goal. It should be. No, first and 10.
From the we're inside the 20 now. They got 14 yards.
14, all right. Pass is dropped. Rare drop here, wide open, but he missed it.
Yeah, Jack McKellips throw a little bit low, wide open again, running that bubble, and you could see the overhangs are starting to widen out a little bit, and maybe because he was on top of him a little bit quicker, he peeked his eyes up and dropped it.
What I was saying, and now you can see it down here in the lower part. The coach is holding up 3 different things that the quarterback looks at. You know, you don't see that too often at this
Not
level.
in high school. Not in D6 high school,
Yeah.
for sure.
This time he'll take it himself. And this time another score, a 14-yard touchdown run by Josh Bauer. And they have scored on all 3 of their possessions.
You know, Coach Wopat is an accomplished football coach. He was a head football coach at Marquezan before eventually he went to Lourdes. He actually replaced me as the activities director. And I'll tell you, he is a great play caller, and he is a really good football coach. But he undersold Josh Bauer to us today. He said Josh is a really good quarterback, you know, for a small school. And truthfully, Bauer so far might be one of the best quarterbacks I've seen through 4 weeks, right? And maybe it's they're that much better than Dodgeland, but he can throw it, he can run it, he can do everything. And he's a junior, Joey.
Yeah, still got another year and a half left of him. 21-0, our new score with 1:10 left to play in this first quarter. We'll be back right after this.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
There you see the new score, 21-0.
That is correct, Joey. We have a minute left in the first quarter.
In the first quarter, yet. This is every bit of what I expected, but even a little bit more than what I expected.
Well, Coach Wopat still undersold it. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like he didn't tell me how good his athletes were.
And the boot goes right
returnable.
to the goal line, but he was outside of it, so he gets a chance to run it out. And he gets 5 more yards out, 6 more yards out to the 26 is where the Trojans will come back out and try and get something going here offensively. They did have the one big pass play, but other than that, they've been stifled by this defense so far.
Yeah, I mean, you saw some success in the first drive with some of the read stuff that they were doing under center. Got some movement, but again, when they get in long down and distances, Lourdes has them right where they want them. And they were able to hit the one big pass, you know, in a 50-50 ball, but, you know, that's not sustainable in a game, right? So they're going to have to move the ball, and they're going to have to do it through the run game.
Bader the give to A-Strike, and he is met right away. We'll see if they even give him a yard on that one, but going nowhere.
So, Joey, you were talking about the cards on the sideline, and you see that a lot. I mean, I think everyone thinks of Oregon, right? Oregon was the school back when they were playing really fast with Chip Kelly, and they had all these cards out there, and some of them are dummies, right? Some of them are formationally, we want you to line up this way. Some of them can be their quick tempo stuff. So when I was at Oshkosh, we did everything off wristband, and we did it off signals and colors. We eventually moved because of crowd noise, right, to doing it on cards. And I think that's what you're seeing from Lourdes. And based on how loud it was when we were down there, clearly the cards work better than trying to yell stuff.
Bader is sacked way back at the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 16, but that is going to do it for quarter number 1, which was all dominated by Lourdes here in this first quarter. When we come back, we will head to quarter number 2, 21-0. It is the Fox Communities Credit Union doubleheader of the week.
I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you.
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Zane!
Back here in Oshkosh, you can hear a nice big round of applause because it is homecoming here tonight. And that's always a fun night. A lot of alumni coming back. And always a fun week at school, too.
Yeah, I feel kind of cool that I get to be here for, I'm not alumni, but I guess,
It is still somewhat of a homecoming for you, though, yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, to see some of the kids that I saw at a really young age, I know mostly their brothers that were in the high school when I was there. It's just cool to see some of the families. I got a lot of hugs, down at the concession stand in between games. And my time there was short, but the thing for me is the families at Lourdes are generational. I mean, some of the families that go to Lourdes have been going there from grandma and grandpa through mom, dad, all the way now through kids. And it's a really cool place, and it's awesome to be back here for their homecoming.
John Dinsey, along with me, Joey D, here tonight. Second half of our doubleheader.
We've got him.
Ooh. Had a receiver let him just a little bit too much, and boy, did Bader take a beating right as soon as he threw that football.
I don't know. The DB was in a great position if he turns and locates the ball, but he let the receiver get by him, and if the ball is a little bit closer, he overthrew him just a little bit, that might have been a touchdown.
Intended for Andrew Benzing, their third leading receiver on the season. Again, they don't throw the football too much, but
yeah, I mean, I think, Joey, that's the story so far in the game is, yes, Lourdes' offense is as good as advertised, as good as the scores tell us they should be, but, Dodgeland has been in way too many third and longs.
And the Knights will have good field position once again as that one goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Dodgeland, and that's where the Knights will come back out. They have scored on all three of their possessions and in hurry-up fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a clinic. I mean, that's the best way to put it. You see, great decisions, great reads by Bauer, good play calling by Coach Wopat and getting his athletes out in space and really attacking what the defense has been giving them and stressing those overhangs. So if you look, if you're watching at home, what you'll notice right now is you have a four-man front, and to the what is now three receiver side, number 12 is the overhang. His job, truthfully, right now is to set the edge, but also to play out in the pass game.
And it's complete.
And we talked about this to number 20.
Number 20, Will Pollock.
Seen a lot of names today.
5'10", 150-pound junior. Pollock.
We talked about this in the first game, that if you're going to run screens and you're going to throw the ball like you are on the edges like this, your receivers have to be blockers. And if you're watching at home, based on the description I was just making, number 12 was our edge player, and the slot receiver ran him 7 yards back on the block. I mean, that's absolutely what you have to do to make those plays work.
Well, I got that as Pollock's first pass reception of the year. That one tipped up in the air, in and out of the hands of Preston Rudiger, and that was dangerous. Boy, they're lucky that one was not picked off.
Yeah, and those are the plays. Not only does Dodgeland need to bounce their ways to get back in the game, but to win the game. I mean, Dodgeland needs the ball to bounce their way tonight if they're going to beat a very high-powered Lourdes offense, but a team in general. I mean, defensively, they've been great this year as well.
3rd down and 4. Haven't seen too many third downs here in the first 3 possessions. There's the give going down the left hash marks, and another first down.
Yep, there's
up to the 31-yard line.
Yep, there's the off tackle play again. So number 22 Shire motions in, basically crack back blocks, not illegally, but blocks back on the defensive end, and they just run off tackle off that block.
1st and 10 on the 31-yard line.
See the same motion, but a boot play.
Bauer. Incomplete.
Dangerous
Had a
throw.
guy open down inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, number 14, Nathan Slagter.
Slagter, okay. 6'4", 480-pound junior.
There's that Matt LaFleur boot that we all want to see. You see a flat route. You see the over route, which was covered really well by Dodgeland. I think the only mistake there is the out that they're trying to throw that was almost picked off. Really should be more of a comeback. You know, puts a quarterback in a tough position when you run that as a deep out. Oh, boy.
2nd and 10. And there he goes. Inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll be another first down.
Yeah, Coach Miller had talked about, Lourdes being a power offense, even out of shotgun. And Coach Wopat told us, if we can run off tackle, we're going to have success. And you just saw a huge gain off tackle.
And a whistle. And a timeout is called by Dodgeland. 10:31 left to play. Lourdes once again here on the march, up by 3 scores, 21-0. Beautiful night here in Oshkosh, Titan Stadium. First game, Neenah victorious over Oshkosh West by a score of 23-13. I'll have all your scores tomorrow morning on WHBY AM Fox Valley, the weekend edition. Start that up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'll have all the area scores. You can catch those tonight, too, on The Score, football Friday night. After the local games start to wind down, tune on over there on the radio side here on our video stream. Having a blast here tonight, another doubleheader.
That's where I get all my information on the drive home, Joey.
Right.
Get all the scores. I get to find out, did Kimberly win? Did Kaukauna win? How the Appleton schools do.
Another full slate as we approach the second half of the regular season. Unbelievable.
And big games tonight. I mean, there's some big games in the Fox Valley that, I think we'll be checking the scores all night to see how, the FVA, right, as I call them, see how that conference is. And now, right, to see Marquezan, which is really leading the Trailways on the other side of the division, how they did as Lourdes has been leading on this side of the division.
Rudinger goes in motion. The toss is to him. Inside the 10, down near the 5-yard line. I think the ball might have popped loose.
Yeah, he got hit hard. It's a little slow getting up.
It was recovered by Lourdes, and so it will be 2nd down and a couple inside the 10-yard line as we approach the 10-minute mark of this first half.
No, it's probably
coming off a little slowly there for Rudinger. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, and it's probably getting old saying this, but I mean, Rudinger comes out and they sub Tyler Johnson in to replace him. I mean, the players that you're seeing are really interchangeable in this offense.
And once again, taking it himself into the end zone. It's Josh Bauer. 6 more for Lourdes. They are 4 for 4 now here this evening. This time from 8 yards out.
Yeah, I mean, he could have handed the off tackle, and it probably scores a touchdown. He decides to keep it, pull the ball from the fullback, right, and keep it, and it goes for a touchdown. So I think either way, he made the right decision.
Yeah.
But either one of them would have worked.
Getting some good blocking up front and walking in for 6. High snap. And the extra point is good. Just barely does slip through the uprights. And your new score with 9:47 remaining in this first half. It is 28-0. We'll take a quick timeout. Come back with more of our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
right, your new score, 28-0. As Lourdes has had the ball 4 times and has marched down the field 4 times.
It's efficient offense, Joey.
Oh, boy. It has been very, very impressive, as they have all season long, putting up more than 50 points twice this year.
Yeah, and truthfully, regardless of who you're playing, right, whether Dodgeland's 4-0 or 1-3 or 3-1, what you see is a talented team filled with athletes, fundamentally sound, and truthfully, a team that we're probably going to be talking about more and more as the season goes on, as they prep and get ready for the playoffs. Because this team, athletically, is as good as any I've seen, at this level of football, right? Division 5, Division 6.
So, from the 20, here we go. Let's see if Dodgeland can get anything going before we hit half. Once again, under center, our quarterback, Ty Bader. Senior gives to the up back. Push backwards after about a 4-yard gain. This will be 2nd down and 6 on the 24.
Yeah, nice look there. Tackle out blocks, and basically you get 2 guys through the hole. So the lead blocker, hand to the fullback. What you would call maybe in pro form ISO, what we call in, if you want to call this veer or wing T, we call it like a quick series. Really cool, quick hitting design to get that lead blocker through the hole and get the up back up there to get you 4 or 5 yards.
Let's give some credit to the defense when we can. Tyler Buddy, one of the guys in on the stop there, 6 foot, 210-pound junior.
Wow, he tripped, fell down, took a knee, still got the handoff, and got 3 yards.
And that one goes to Logan, was it 36?
Yeah, I think so.
Logan Pocious.
Fresh.
Only a freshman, 6 foot, 200-pound freshman. We read the number correct. It wasn't a strike. He was just standing there.
They didn't help us with numbers tonight, Joey. That is for sure.
Yeah.
The jerseys are cool. They're just hard to see
when you're
from
up
here.
front and close, they're really neat jerseys. They are. But some of the high schools in this area, as a broadcaster, frustrating. A strike bounces across the 30 for another 1st down for Dodgeland.
It's funny you say that. I had Xavier Menasha 2 weeks ago.
Oh, boy.
And Xavier, the guy that designed the jerseys, told me in pregame, he said, yeah, we actually have to put white outlines around the numbers because the league complained about it.
Yep.
And I said, great, that'll be awesome calling the game.
They look cool up front.
They look so
They
cool.
really do, but
you can't see a thing.
See them, and that's kind of our vantage point right now. We're up pretty high here in the booth at UW-Oshkosh.
Yeah, Titan Stadium is a big place.
I see that one.
There you go, number
that
27.
One goes to Caden Bruger, sophomore. And he gains a couple of yards out to about the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 4.
Yeah, and the timing on that play, the snap and the cadence by Bader actually threw it off. If they hit in motion Bruger and they can hand it off to him at full speed, that play probably hits for a big gain. I mean, he got 6 yards on that play, but he had to almost stop completely still to get the handoff.
2nd and 4.
That's something to watch as the game goes on, because if they can hit that timing right and hit the edge, that was a big gain waiting to happen.
Right on the 39-yard line.
There's your dive again.
There's the give to the up back once again. A-Strike just stands there and watches it.
But again, this
And
is where
short
Dodgeland
gain,
wants to
but
be.
3rd and short now.
Absolutely, Joey. This is where Dodgeland wants to be. 3rd and shorts.
Yep.
3rd and shorts. Because ultimately, down 28-0, this is 2 down distance anyways. But they don't want to be in a position where they have to throw. They want to be able to surprise you with the throw. They want to be able to attack the edges as a counter play, because they're moving the ball by attacking downhill through their dives and their quick series and the plays that you've seen them now have success on this drive with.
And pretty much the same play there, but it didn't work.
It was Reed Spanbauer.
Yeah, the Knights sniffed that one out, so they'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th and 1 now on the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and the forward progress to the line of scrimmage is probably really generous. I mean, that tackle was made almost as he took the handoff.
Right at
It's a big
6
play in
minutes.
the game right now. At
Here we
6
go.
minutes left,
Yeah.
it's a big conversion to hopefully, again, get yourself back in the game.
A strike.
Good play
Gets
call.
that first down.
Good play call.
Just enough on 4th down. They do convert. Move the chains up to the 44, 1st and 10.
Yeah, so what you saw there is again, like I had mentioned with that quick series, that's just a second back through. Now it's a different look. It's not like the quick series play they ran earlier. It's basically the veer dive that they've been running, but they hand it to the second back. So a little bit different look, similar concept, and it's able to hit basically a gap over.
That's got to feel good if you're Dodgeland to convert like that and just keep the drive going. Take baby steps, but it's a step.
Well, if you're Coach Miller, you want to keep your kids in it. That's the biggest thing. There's a strike, big game.
Strike, running over defenders left and right across midfield to the 49-yard line.
And again, I don't know the ins and outs of how Dodgeland runs their offense, but when I was a high school coach, that series you're seeing, we used to call the quick series. And what's basically happening is the quarterback's going down the line and handing a dive, but he has a second back that can come through and follow almost like a lead block. But you're basically attacking one side of the field in those B gaps, or again, it could be a C gap play for them based on how they're lining up against the front.
Taking a long time in the huddle here. Wouldn't be surprised there's a timeout called soon.
They're gonna win the time of possession battle.
Bader with the hard count. They do get the play off to a strike. And that'll be near a first down. We may have a measurement on this one, depending on where they spot it. And put it right on the UW-Oshkosh Titan logo right there on the 47-yard line. It's going to be a little short. Third and short.
That again, fake to the first guy, hand to the second guy, designed out of an I formation to hit off tackle. A little bit different play, but basically same concepts. So you've seen basically 3 to 4 different ways to run the same play. And you're seeing them out of different backfield sets, different aiming points, but really trying to make decisions based on what the defensive line does.
A strike again, first down conversion. They continue to move the football on this drive.
That is fullback dive, and the line got great movement. And get a strike the first down.
They'll put it on the 43-yard line, 1st and 10 there. With 3.5 left to play. Trying to get on the scoreboard, trying to put together a sustained drive. This is definitely the best one that they've had so far in this first half.
This is how Dodgeland wants to play football.
And a timeout is called by the Knights. 28-0 is our score. As we take a look at the area schedule. Yeah, as you said, man, some pretty big games here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, if
in
you're
all of the conferences.
Right, if you're just looking at the Valley Football Association or the FEA, like I call them all the time, I mean, Kaukauna, Appleton North is a big game. Hortonville, Fond du Lac, I mean, just jumps off the screen, actually.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the DC Everest game, while they should beat Wisconsin Rapids, DC Everest is a team that I think teams might be sneaking up on teams. I think they're a team to pay a little bit more attention to as the year goes on. The FRCC, again, I mean, anytime I can see De Pere and Bayport play well-coached teams that are going to play a solid football game, I'm really excited with what Schwabenon's done this year. But again, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to look at Wrightstown Freedom. That game jumps off the screen as I kind of want to get in the car and see what the score is.
We'll probably get that score for you.
We're going to get some updates. There you go.
After the timeout, whatever Coach Wopat said, it worked there because they stuffed him right away.
Yeah, I like the play design. They ran a little bit different look. It looks like they pulled a guard and tried to run off tackle with the fullback. A little bit different look than anything they've done, but didn't matter. Lourdes beat the block, really followed the pulling guard and made the tackle.
2nd and 10 on the 43-yard line. Under 3 minutes left to play in this first half. It's been all Lourdes, but Dodgeland putting something together here. Flushed out of the pocket and driven down a nice open field tackle made by Thomas Derleith,
yeah.
Derleith, a 6'2", 185-pound, just a sophomore, and he ran him down, and nice ankle tackle and a loss of 4.
Yeah, great play. You know, Lourdes is in, if you look at them defensively, they are a traditional 3-4 team. I mean, back in the day, I think most people would call it a 50. 3-down linemen, really looks like they're almost like pinching the front, lining up on the center and the guards. But that means those overhangs have to contain, and Derleith did a great job containing the quarterback, because if he gets the edge, he's going to run for a while.
And a timeout is called. We'll take one more timeout here before we reach halftime. 28-0, Lourdes leading back after this.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
28-0. Just tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in to the second half of our doubleheader here this evening. Coach Tinsey along with me, Joey D. Adam Van Handel on the camera work here this evening from Oshkosh. After the timeout, 3rd and 14. A drive that all of a sudden has slowed down a lot for the Trojans. Back to pass off his back foot, and it's picked off at the 30-yard line. Running it back. Jaden Lewin still on his feet, and Lewin pushed out of bounds at the 32. About a 40-yard run back, and just like that, that drive stops. They had something going until there.
Again, it's so hard because, you know, when you're not designed to throw the ball, when you're not designed to be able to try to hit the plays that they're trying to hit right now in a 3rd and long, you just don't throw the ball in rhythm. And that player in the middle of the field is open. The problem is you're throwing off your back foot, you're spun around, you're getting some pressure, you're not used to doing what you're doing. The ball sails right to number 7, Jaden Lewin, intercepted, and Dodgeland again is in a bad position, now having to try to hopefully finally stop Lourdes offensively.
All kinds of flags on the field, though, right there at the 40-yard line. I think every single referee threw a yellow thing.
Yeah, I think you got to block in the back right away. I mean, right as the ball was picked off, someone peeled back and looked like he leveled a guy. Yeah,
it's going to be on Lourdes. And, wow, they're marking this one way backwards.
I wonder, the way they signaled it, didn't it look like helmet to helmet?
That might have been.
I mean, literally when the ball was picked off, you could see a linebacker just turn backwards and peel back and block a guy. Now, again, if that's what they're calling, we don't know. But either way, Lourdes gets backed up. They get the ball on the interception, but they get backed up on the penalty.
On the 24, so instead of being on the Trojans' 32, all the way back on their own 24 right here at the 2-minute warning. Here comes Bauer.
Good play
on the keeper. Gets a little bit of breathing room there. A couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, great job by Hayden Kurth of, again, maybe not necessarily reading, but coming all the way off the edge and chasing Bauer from behind. I think Bauer made the right read to pull it, but Kurth just chased him down.
Toss back to Rudinger. Now he cuts it back to the near side, and ankle tripped up. Oh, boy, if he's not tripped up there by A-Strike, then he may be off and running for 6.
Yeah, Dodgeland looks like the edge players widened out. Looked like they were going to set the edge. Looks like they're going to get a tackle for loss, and then they missed a tackle. And Rudinger tries to make a play in space, almost does, but gets just tackled by the shoelaces.
At the 1-minute mark, it's 3rd down. And he takes it himself. He's got a blocker. Follows him all the way up near midfield before he is tackled.
Yeah, great read.
In on the play, Andrew Benzing once again with the tackle, and another first down conversion here on third down for Lourdes.
Yeah, great job of pulling on the jet sweep, keeping it inside. Gets a nice lead block, big play.
Pass. It's to Rudinger again. And another first down. He is pushed out of bounds there by Cy Adi.
It's the tough part against this offense. You know, you hit a couple plays inside, you defend the jet sweep well, and then all of a sudden you start to creep inside to stop the run, and they throw a bubble screen.
So on their fifth possession of the game, can they drive in less than 2 minutes here and put another score up? Back to pass is Bauer. Led his man just a little bit too much, and Rudinger is banging himself on the helmet for that one.
You know, and again, it's hard to read it, right? So Rudinger goes underneath the corner, even though if he stays vertical over the top of him, Bauer probably leads him to the touchdown. But one of the things you notice a lot of times with young receivers, and I don't know how much experience Preston has, he's primarily a basketball player, but when you put your hands up, you slow down.
Here's Tim Call. Still
dive.
with it. Inside the 30. Rolling across for another first down with 29 seconds left. They still do have one timeout remaining.
It's every coach's dream. A fullback dive for 14 yards, you know?
Clock starts back up with 20 seconds left. Bauer under pressure. And he's sacked.
Can't take that sack.
At the 34-yard line with 13 seconds left, and now they're going to be forced to use that final timeout.
You know, and it's interesting, Joey, because he had Preston on a really quick slant, and he pulled the ball. And it's interesting to me because he was open, right? I don't know what he pulled it for and didn't make that throw, but by that point in time, the blitz gets to him and he gets sacked, and it's really hard to take a sack when you're driving down the field and you got to waste a timeout because you didn't throw it away. Now, again, we mentioned this earlier. You know, Tyler Johnson, the kicker for Lourdes, is arguably one of the best kickers in the state, being looked at right now by Montana, North Dakota State, St. Thomas at the Division III level as well as you know, my alumni, UW-Oshkosh, where his dad works. His dad's the athletic trainer, Jack Johnson, for the football team. So when you look at it, we're at 33 yards. I mean, we're in his range. This is a 50-yard field goal. Now, he's had some issues this year with the protection and having some kicks blocked. And when you're deeper, you generally are going to try to drive the ball more. So the ball will come off lower. So, you know, for Coach Wopat, I mean, well, yes, you want to score a touchdown. To me, you want to put him in an easier position for a field goal. Would be my primary objective. Screenplay.
Screen to the wide receiver. Still has it.
Oh, boy.
Can he get in? Did he get in? Reaching across the pylon. He's down at about the 2-yard line. Nathan Slegter to the 1 with 3 seconds left.
And then you use that last timeout right there. Now, it's a good thing they had the extra timeout, but that's exactly what we talked about with not getting the ball away on that sack. You know, luckily, again, they had one more timeout. They can use it. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Do you take a chip shot by Tyler Johnson knowing you probably are getting 3 points? Or it's homecoming, right? You got to keep people happy.
Yeah.
You got to dive and score a touchdown, right?
It's either a sneak here by Bauer or you give it to the horse there and call.
Joe, I'm going to let you call the play. What are you calling?
I'm saying Bauer just reach across. That's all he's going to have to do.
You run the Tim Tebow play?
We can see that.
Yeah, I don't think they're bringing a kicker out. I think that was just that's the special teams coach in me. I just want to reward the kid, you know? But when you get, I mean, what did they get on that screen? Like 25 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one heck of a play call, but execution. And you saw every Lourdes offensive lineman downfield blocking on that play. I mean, that's great execution.
I think you do. You spread out the defense a little
Look
bit
at
here
that.
with as many wide receivers as you can and then just let Bauer do his thing. But no, he's in the shotgun. I thought that he'd be up under center. He does take it himself, and he's in.
You're 1 for 1 on the year, Joey. There it is.
Josh Bauer, another score, and Lourdes has scored on all 5 of their possessions in this first half.
And efficient. They used every second of the half. Look at that. So Tyler Johnson gets to come on and kick the extra point, though. So at least he gets that going for him, which he is currently 4 for 4 in the night, trying to make it 5 for 5.
I like what they did there, though, just spreading things out, making Dodgeland at least think that they might be throwing the football. And that will put us to halftime with our score, 35-0 Lourdes leading Dodgeland here at the half. Before we take our break, first half thoughts here, Mr. Dinsey.
Lourdes is as good as advertised.
Yeah.
I think teams in D5, D6, again, you don't know how it's going to play out until the playoff pool is out, right? But traditionally a D5 or D6 school, this is a team that you absolutely have to be scared of. They have great athletes. They execute on offense. I would argue, I mean, it's easy calling plays when plays are working, but I think Coach Wopat has called a masterful first half. And what will not be talked about enough, because it's 35-0, is defensively, they have absolutely forced Dodgeland to play outside of what they want to do. And that is really a credit to the defensive coordinator, who we probably don't say enough. We don't credit him enough. But Marcus Hoffmaster has done a great job with his scheme so far in the first half.
Coming into the game, Lourdes in their first halves scored a combined 109 points. Add 35 more to that first half total for Lourdes. We'll take a timeout. We'll hear from all of our fine sponsors, and then we'll be coming back after the clock strikes down to 0, and we'll give you second half action. It is 35-0 Lourdes here at the half. Game number 2 on our Fox Communities Credit Union Games of the Week.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The
projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Back here at UW-Oshkosh as play a song that is probably for the Dodgeland Trojans here tonight. Don't stop believing. It's not over yet, but we are getting a show from the Lourdes Academy Knights. They have scored on all 5 of their possessions in this one, and it is 35-0 as we bring it back here. Our Fox Communities Credit Union Games of the Week. I am Joey D alongside Mr. John Dinsey. And first game saw Neenah win 23-13 over Oshkosh West. And we took a little bit of a break, and now we get to watch a little track and field action.
Yeah,
Seems like
I would say.
From the Lords. I mean,
it is a track meet.
Yes, we do have a track here around the football field, but on the field itself, 5 possessions and 5 scores. Is it what you expected, or is it more than what you expected?
You know, honestly, I think, you had mentioned at the beginning of the game, these are teams you hadn't been able to broadcast before. And truthfully, I haven't seen these teams play football in years. But what I had heard coming into this game as I prepped for it was, you're going to think you're going to love Lourdes athletes, and I watched them on their state run going to basketball last year. And when I looked at the roster, I saw, man, it's like every kid that's on the basketball team. And I mean, when I was a football coach, you used to hear it all the time, basketball on grass, whether it was the Tony Franklin offense or it was Texas Tech or whatever. And this is different. This is different than that type of stuff. But this is the best basketball players at Lourdes Academy playing really good football right now. And it's all led by Josh Bauer. And I said to you coming back from the half that, we're going to find out who the backup quarterback is really quick, because I don't expect him to play the whole second half.
That was my next question that I had on my mind. It was to ask you, how long, if you're, Coach Wopat, what do you do? You don't want him to get hurt or anybody else to get hurt. Your starters, you're obviously in control of this one. Do you go ahead and yank them and give the other guys a chance to get some good playing time?
Yeah, so, again, the enrollment at Lourdes is 168 kids, right? So, football rosters here, you're going to see rosters in the, from the 30s to mid-40s, maybe into the 50s. But if you look at the sideline, they can't sub everyone out. But you would expect Bauer to not finish this game, right? I probably bring him out for the first series. If we score a touchdown, I'm very seriously considering, looks like Jaden Lewin is the backup. And truthfully, Lewin and Bauer are both juniors, right? So it's not like you're going to prep your next kid to get some good varsity reps. Yeah. Bauer's coming back next year. So, for me, if you score on this next drive, I don't really need to see more of Josh Bauer running the ball today.
One of the things that impressed me talking with Coach Wopat before the game, when he was talking about Josh and how he put on 30 pounds in the last short period of time, he said. 3-sport athlete, and he is the reason why a lot of these guys are playing football right now.
I don't even know how that's
putting on
possible.
30 pounds. He's only a junior.
I think my kids eat a lot. I can only imagine. Again, and when you look at the roster, you see a kid that's 5'11", 175, obviously growing into his body still, and he's only a junior. So when Coach Wopat, starts the preview with us and he says, he's a good quarterback for a small school, I'm like, man, this kid's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the state next year, right? And I don't think we're overselling it, and I don't think that this has anything to do with maybe the lopsidedness and talent between Dodgeland and Lourdes. I think you're witnessing a really good Lourdes football team with really good football players. And on Dodgeland's side,
you're just taking the words out of my mouth there.
Right.
What are you doing if you're Coach Doug Miller? What are you telling your team here?
Oh, I go back to what we do. I'm running the ball. I'm running my quick series. I'm handing the ball to A-Strike. I'm doing the same things I do in some respects because your players need to have success, and right now it's 35-0. Whether you win or lose against Lourdes isn't going to change the fact that next week you're either 2-3, or you're 1-4, and you have to continue to play the rest of the season. And not every team you play is going to be as good as Lourdes. So they need to have some success. They need to execute, and they need to get in third and manageables because that's when they've had success. Now the challenge is they're probably going to have to hit some chunk plays in this game, and you have to be able to run the ball with success to do that. And so far today, they haven't done that, haven't been able to hit those chunk plays.
They do get the football first to start the second half because they did win the toss, but then they deferred. And once again, they give it to their horse, Nate A-Strike, the 5'11", 210-pound senior. He was the bulk of the load in that first half, and which they had a couple of drives that, let's say, were sustained, but then in the end, there was the Knights defense.
Yeah, when you're running an offense like they do, and you're seeing some different formations, you're seeing a twin set here, almost looks like a pro. I mean, true pro football right there. But
hammered down to the ground after a short gain. That is
number 55, Tyler Buddy. But again, when you're running an offense like this, your running game has to be efficient, and it takes a ton of patience and long drives to get down the field if you're not hitting strike plays. And that, again, is where these offensive have gone to more spread, more quick hitting stuff, because it's hard to not make mistakes, and have long
Hayden
drives.
Kurth is the ball carrier.
And that's the challenge with any sort of, veer offense. I mean, to me, this is wing tee principles. You're seeing some twin series right now that they're running. You've seen some quick series, but boy, you're talking 13, 14 play drives to score touchdowns when you're doing this type of stuff, and you can't hit chunk plays.
Again, Tyler Buddy with the big hit, but it's good for enough for a first down here for the Trojans in the first possession here of the second half. Here's A-Strike once again, trying to plow through the big defensive line. Didn't get any push from behind and gained about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now about the 34.
We talked about it as the game began. I mean, these type of drives where, they can get movement, they can go 3, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. That's what they have to do, and then be able to mix in, some play action, some misdirection, some stuff to hit those big plays. But they just, when they've been able to move the ball, they haven't been able to sustain it enough to give them scoring opportunities. And truthfully, I think Lourdes hit him so quick, it's hard to even respond.
2nd down and 8, a 34. Back to pass. And that one falls just short of A-Strike, who was coming out of the backfield. And so it'll be 3rd down and 8. Well, A-Strike can do anything, can't he, on offense and defense?
Yeah, and that's what will get lost in the game a little bit today is, Dodgeland has some players that are really good football players, and he's one of them. But the story is going to be it's 35-0 right now. And when you're down 35-0, you probably don't get to utilize your best players the way you want to.
Again, going to the air and hit his receiver right at midfield. They're going to move the chains, and it'll be 1st down for Dodgeland.
It's hard to see.
I think it's Andrew Benzing. Yes, that's his main target through the air. 6'4", 165-pounder.
See, and even with, sometimes the chunk plays don't have to be, off the run game, right? That's just a drop back pass, one-man route, and Lourdes is in man coverage. So if you can win the one-on-run route like that, that's a really good thrown ball.
Now they run it off the right side.
We fumbled it.
And the ball is loose. Lourdes comes up with it. Nobody's going to get him. I don't see any flags. Put another 6 on the board, this time defensively for the Knights.
And on that play, they run a nice little toss, had a nice seam, looked like they were going to get 4 or 5 yards, and I think Caden Shire literally took the ball out of his arm. Took it out of his arm, ran it back, touchdown, and he ran away from everyone on that touchdown run.
Another 6 for Lourdes.
Well, there's a defensive one now.
Yep.
So the defense said, you can do really well, but we're going to try to get in the action here. So Tyler Johnson on to at his 6th extra point of the game.
A little trouble getting some personnel onto the field, though. Running out at the last second, Rudy Kuklinski.
right? They scored so quickly.
High snap.
Oh, boy.
And that one is no good. So the first thing that we can talk about tonight really that hasn't gone Lourdes' way, and it's on an extra point.
Yeah, man, I feel like every time you try to rush a kick, that's what happens. And you're running a player on, you're trying to get the snap off. Snapper rushes the snap, snapped high. Bauer can't get it down. And Johnson's not going to slow down his approach to the ball. Kicks basically a knuckler, just a liner that misses. And they've talked about that throughout the year. They've talked about, some block kicks, some bad protection. And as the season moves forward and you're playing playoff games, right? When you're playing the Iola Scandinavias and the St. Mary Springs and Edgars, those things are going to come back and bite you. So you're right. We found the one little chink in the armor so far tonight.
41-0, 6 straight scores. And again, though, after what seemingly was at least a good start to a drive for Dodgeland.
Right,
and something happens to him.
After hitting a big play, too. On the best throw we've seen Bader make all night. And
that was a very good throw.
And that's not an easy throw. I mean, that throw was to the field. It looked like kind of like an outside hook or out route maybe. It's not an easy throw to make. That is a bomb, that kick.
Almost another extra point. Goes to the back of the end zone. And so it'll be Dodgeland and the offense trotting back out there trying to get something going.
And I've talked about Tyler Johnson for a variety of reasons because I'm a former kicking coach. So, he's going to amaze me. But truthfully, anytime you have a kid on the field that, is one of the best kids in the state at what he does, is being looked at Division I schools. It's obviously someone we want to talk about, we want to feature. But when I coached at UW-Oshkosh, Jack Johnson is still the football athletic trainer, still on staff here. And Tyler is his son. And Tyler had to have been, probably when I stopped coaching, 8, 9 years old. And I think the best thing about him and his story is he had a really bad quad injury last year that he rehabbed and came back from. And as a kicker, obviously, that's a pretty big deal. And now you see him out there with, obviously having a ton of success in his senior year.
A-Strike working left side over to the hash marks, gaining 3, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 on the 23.
Yeah, a little bit different look, kind of a toss sweep look to the fullback. Again, for Dodgeland, I want A-Strike to touch the ball as much as he can. Not only is he my best player, but he's getting 3 to 4 yards every time he touches it. And that's going to keep the clock moving, keep the drive moving.
Back up under center is Ty Bader. And guess who gets it? There's A-Strike out in the open field. Somebody going to run him down? Inside the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. The Trojans are on the board after a long touchdown run by Nate A-Strike.
Yeah, what's going to get lost in that play, and I really wish we had a replay of it, is the lead block by the fullback. I actually thought it was A-Strike that was leading on the play, and I was about to say, Joey, he can block too, because look at that lead block. He absolutely depleted the linebacker, which obviously opened up the seam a little bit more, and A-Strike ran away from every Lourdes defender.
Boy, yeah, put on the Jets there, man. He can do a little bit of everything on this football field. Now the all-important extra point here. Yeah. And that one is just through. It got through. So your new score was 7:03 left here in quarter number 3. 41-7. Back after this on the Fox Communities Credit Union Video Stream Games of the Week.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Well, hey, it's something. We got something going on here for Dodgeland after it was all Lourdes there in that first half. And all of a sudden, two big plays here, a missed extra point and then a long run for Nate Astrike. Puts him on the board, 41-7 with 7:03 left to play here in the third.
I mean, obviously, you know, for a coaching staff, you don't want to give up big plays. You don't want to give up quick scores. You know, but that's a pretty basic play for a defensive coordinator and something I'm sure he's repped a lot, right? I mean, anytime a fullback and a back go through the same hole, that's full flow. So the whole flow was coming at the inside linebackers. And truly, I mean, the lead block was awesome. But the backers didn't fit correctly. The safety didn't provide primary or secondary run support. And it becomes a huge play. And I'm not going to say it gets Dodgeland back in the game yet, but it's a start.
And the kick is run out to about the 37-yard line. And how weird is it that we've had 13 points scored here in the second half without the Lourdes offense even touching the football yet. This will be their first snap of the second half.
That's the story of the third quarter right there. So when you ask me when would I put Bauer in, see, now I can play Bauer. I mean, he didn't have to play 5 minutes already. So for sure I'm bringing him in because I want to get that touchdown back I just lost.
Indeed, they will trot him back out there.
Yeah,
Josh Bauer.
Everyone's back out there, Joey. I mean, you're seeing the full offense, the full arsenal. See Shire, see Tyler Johnson. Looks like McKellips.
And for the first time in this half, here comes an offensive play for the Knights.
Call with the carry.
Tackled by, guess who? A-strike right there to bring him down. He has just been amazing tonight.
You know, and the thing is Coach Wolpat talked a lot about him, obviously as a runner, and he was a player that they were going to have to defend. They were going to have to stop him, but he was not short in praising him as a defender as well.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. I mean, he's in a position where he reads well, and he's making stops on the defensive side as well.
Pass to the near side. It's complete to Jack Huizenga. And it's close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. I think he may have had enough.
Another one of those basketball players, Joey.
Yeah.
The Huizenga family, a family that in the Lourdes system is known for basketball.
And they didn't give it to him. The far official was more near the first down, but they're going to say he is a full yard shy of it. So 3rd and 1 on the 46.
Jack's older brother, Ben, was on that state basketball team last year. Their dad, Ben, was an assistant coach, longtime assistant for Coach Rudinger.
There goes Tim Call.
And then Coach Clark.
Across midfield to about the 44-yard line. Yeah, that's good for another Knights first down.
Yeah, the other story from this game that I think the stat line will show is Tim Call is a good fullback. I think his paths on his off-tackle dive, his ability to break tackles, although at times I feel like he isn't touched until, 5-6 yards down the field, he's a solid player. They just subbed him out.
This time they give it to Gabe Bone.
And his backup, Gabe Bone, goes for about 20 yards on that carry.
22 yards. Up to the 20. They got some bruisers that Bauer can hand off to. And he can take off himself. This offense is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Gabe Bone is a 5'9", 215-pound sophomore.
Only a sophomore. Very young, talented, quick, big football team. And knocking on the door once again. They've scored all 5 times that they have had the football on offense. Pass into the flat to Johnson. Tyler breaking a few tackles inside the 10. We'll have
Yeah, really good
Another
block
first
by
down.
Jack Huizinga out on the edge. Lead blocking for Tyler on that bubble screen. And again, one of the things I think you should look at as you're watching at home is you'll look at Lourdes and you say, man, they're running the ball all over the place. But when you look up front, they're really not that big offensively. But the way they design their offense, they're attacking on the edges. They're running off-tackle runs. So really the offensive line just needs to wall off to a side. And the way they run their offense, it allows them to really just put their athletes in space. It may seem like they are really just running all over them, but I don't want to say it's smoke and mirrors because it's not. But it's definitely designed to play to their strengths.
Fullback call, gets the call, inside the 5, mark it on the 4.
Yeah, and they've hit a couple of those dives. I don't think they're truly reading on that play, but they've hit a couple of those inside for big gains. But really, Dodgeland's done a pretty good job of fitting that play. It's been the off-tackle read plays that Dodgeland just has not been able to stop all game. And I think that's honestly been a game plan adjustment by Coach Wolpak because that's not normally the path that their fullback takes.
Call gets it once again, breaking tackles, leaping into the end zone. Touchdown, Lourdes. For the 6th time tonight, their offense has put 6 points up.
Yeah, that path is the normal path that their back dives on. A little bit more downhill, really more of a B-gap play. Get the guard up to the inside linebacker, and it's 6 points.
6 times they've had it, 6 times they have scored, and then the one defensive as well. The
There
extra
you go.
point is good, and so that makes the new score 48-7 with 3:22 left to play in this third quarter. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back at the end of the third quarter on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
Well, that didn't take long. Right as soon as Dodgeland had something going, as we were talking about earlier, a little bit of momentum. They forced a missed extra point, and then they had the long touchdown run, and then there's the offense of Lourdes.
Yeah, momentum is a real thing in a football game and in most sports, but I think you feel it more in football. And when you give up a big run, you just think of the swing, right, that your defense feels, your offense feels. And Lourdes' offense says, well, we'll score in less than 3 minutes, right? We'll just answer back.
Why do they even put kick return guys back at all? It just goes in the end zone every time. That one almost did not.
With the 2 kids that are kicking tonight for both teams, I don't know if I would. I remember college games where, we'd play whitewater or lacrosse, and man, they had some really good kickers back then. And it's almost like you'd put all this work into designing a kick return, and you never got a chance to do it anyways because they kicked in the end zone. It's probably how Dodgeland feels right now with their return game. Probably practiced it too much.
They start again on the 20-yard line, and again, A-Strike gets it. 5-yard stumble. 5 more for A-Strike.
Right, so again, just kind of that, quick dive, fullback dive behind your wall of your guards and or your center and guards.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 on the 25. I don't have his numbers, but I'm sure, especially after that big long run, he's got to be well over 100 yards.
Yeah, I think the big run put him over. This
averaging 138 coming into the game.
Wow. This is an offense truly that, unless you're watching it from the tight view, so from the end zone view, you probably don't appreciate it as much as you should. Wow, that's a great play.
Open field tackle. Soon as he got the handoff.
Yeah, Patrick Durleaf. Great play. the two brothers, Derleith,
Yeah,
Patrick,
Patrick
number
and-
50, and Thomas, number 81. Their dad, Peter, longtime CEO of Ripon Athletics. His dad, Hank, was a former Badger player, started Ripon Athletics. Just an amazing family.
Amazing tackle right there in the
Yeah.
backfield. Loss of 4. It's hard to get 8 strike down like that, but he did.
Pickett.
Nope, he was behind
Ooh.
him, and I think that one bounced incomplete. Yes, on the far.
Again, they get the one-on-one matchup with number 85, right? With Benzing. With Benzing again. And truthfully, he's open, but the ball floats, hangs inside a little bit, and truthfully probably should have been picked off if the DB breaks on it. But what will get lost in that throw is look at the hash mark and look where he threw that ball. I mean, the distance on that throw, it's a hard throw for any quarterback.
I'm wondering why we got a flag on the play. I thought the running clock wasn't until the 4th quarter, but they've been doing the running clock, and then they stop it right there for a penalty. The clock didn't stop after that, and now the referee is winding it.
down there.
They're winding it. Penalty goes on Lourdes, so apparently we are in run the clock
Listen,
mode.
it's homecoming, Joey. So
I thought it was 35 after 3.
That's how I interpret the rules, but hey, it's homecoming.
I know there have been a few rule changes this year in football as
That's a good
far as
point.
the clock goes. That one taken right at midfield. Cutting left, cutting right, still on his feet. We're finally being dragged down about the 37-yard line by Adam Arnold Doosan. I think I'm saying that right. Arnold Doosan, a sophomore.
Yeah, that was one of the names we covered in the pronunciation.
Long U is what Coach said. Adam Arnold Doosan.
Yeah, so, again, one of the benefits, for Lourdes, right, and even for Dodgeland of a game that's a little lopsided, right, is you're seeing a lot of players now that you didn't expect to see, or maybe you did expect to see them if you knew this was going to happen. And one of those is Jaden Lewin, who is now in at quarterback for Bauer. So I think Bauer's night is over after the one offensive touchdown. There you go.
I think they're going to let this one wind down. That's going to do it for quarter number 3. As we head to quarter number 4, it will be running clock 48-7. Back in a minute here on the Fox Community Credit Union Video Stream Game of the Week.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
We are about to begin quarter number 4, quarter number 8 of the night for us here on the Fox Communities Credit Union Video Stream Games of the Week. Broadcast team tonight, Mr. John Dinsey. I am Joey D. Adam Van Handel on the camera work here this evening, where we will have running clock for the rest of this one, the final 12 minutes, as Lourdes leads it 48-7, but a whole new offense now coming out.
Yeah, we're going to see Jaden Lewin.
This is where we look at the roster a lot. And hopefully we can see the numbers. With Bone, the fullback, still on his feet.
Man, I think
trying to ankle tackle him. That ain't going to work.
I think he's had 3. If I'm remembering correctly, he's had 3 to 4 carries, and they've all hit for 10 plus. I mean, he's going to be averaging 12 to 13 yards a carry right now. Solid run, big, tough, physical kid.
Gabe Bone came into the game averaging just 37 in the first 4 games.
I'm going to guess the JV team is pretty good at Lourdes. That's what I'm going to guess. Based on the couple players we've seen today that, are backups right now.
The 41-point lead. Well on their way to yet another victory. That pass incomplete. Lewin putting a little extra something on that one, but he just dropped it.
Yeah, it's hard to see the number from here. It looks like, it looks like George Mensch.
Yep.
Number 85.
George Mensch, 6'5", the tallest player on the team, 190-pound.
Another basketball player. His brother Eddie was a great basketball player at Lourdes. Actually just recently transferred back to UW-Oshkosh to play his, which I believe will be his sophomore year, and join the National Titan Champions.
Be him, and I think that's still Tyler Johnson out there. Splitting wide out. But the give goes to Bone. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. And he'll gain another 5 for Bone. It'll be 3rd down and 5 right on the 15.
And nice little gain. Puts them in a more manageable 3rd down.
As you see up in the top half of the screen there, 10 minutes left to play. The clock will continue to run except for on touchdowns and timeouts, I believe, if that rule hasn't changed yet. We'll find out.
So far, so good.
Bone plowing his way through that defensive line.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line of Dodgeland to really fill the gaps and make that a short run and put Lourdes down a 4th down.
4th and 2.
Is this the first 4th down we've seen? I'm pretty sure.
Well, if they don't convert here, it'll be the first time that the offense has not scored a touchdown this evening. Of course, this is the 2nd string, but
yeah, the 6-for-6 streak. Here it is.
Bone again, the fullback. 4th and 2 on the 13. And he kept it himself, and he is sacked right away. Breaking through the line. I think that's a strike still in there.
Yeah, that's a strike.
Oh, boy, he was not going to be denied there. A turnover on downs. And for the first time tonight, the Dodgeland defense has kept the Lourdes offense out of the end zone.
Yeah, really good backside A-gap blitz on what looked like just going to be almost like a quarterback sweep. The fullback dove off the edge of the offensive line, was going to lead block, but with the action, A-Strike just made the play before he could get out and get running.
And that clock continues to run even on the turnover. A 41-point game. Boy, you can hear the pads way up here. They're still hitting hard. These guys are playing right to the end. And that, I believe, was Caden Bruger.
Yeah, Dodgeland's not making any subs on their side. I mean, you see A-Strike out there. You still see Bader out there. You still see Christofferson. I mean, Bruger, all the players we've seen, all first half, now into the second half, they're still out there. They're finishing this game. And again, like we talked about, finding success, so they can finish their season out.
2nd and 9 on the 20. A-Strike gets the pitch. Falls down, it looked like. He tripped himself up. About the 27, so 7-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Trojans.
Yeah, nice manageable 3rd down. A-Strike gets a nice gain off tackle on the short toss play.
3rd and 2 on the 27. And the toss once again goes to A-Strike. Using those quick feet. And he's got a 1st down at the 30.
Yeah, it looks like he's able to move the sticks, obviously, but on that second effort, as he had to cut the ball back a little bit. Good initial contact in the backfield by Liam Hamill, the freshman, but just wasn't able to make the tackle.
That was one thing that Coach Kevin Wopat was talking about before the game with us on the field. Was they got to stop number 44 and stop his feet. He's really worried about his feet being just everywhere, both offensively and defensively. Here's an 8-yard pickup by someone other than A-Strike. 2nd down and 2. They're announcing the homecoming float contest.
We can
Apparently
see 'em.
the seniors got 4th.
Oh, man. They'll never live that down.
Oh, boy. Homecoming tonight, a happy one it has been.
Yeah, you can see them all out in the distance on the track there. All the floats ready for us to look at. Another dive. That time stuffed pretty well. It's going to put a 3rd and short now for Dodgeland. Now under 6 minutes left in the game.
Big announcement here, second place. The suspense.
You notice how all the kids started paying attention? We had lost them for about a quarter. A lot of suspense. They're dragging this out.
They're going to wait till the next play, aren't they? That's fabulous. Comes a pass play. And he got it.
Yeah, good pass, good catch. It's really the primary route you see. You see the
Benzing.
Yeah, Benzing again. You see him almost look like he's coming out to stalk block, like it's a run play. And then he just runs a button hook out, right? And they've completed a couple of times. Really good throw from the pocket.
So it went junior, sophomore, freshman, senior, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
The juniors win it in the float contest. I remember that many, many moons ago.
Sticking it to the seniors, you know?
There's a strike again, padding his stats to the 45. Another 8-yard pickup for him, 2nd and 2. As the clock continues to wind down in this one. Yeah, I remember having some fun. Small town, southwestern Indiana. We had some fun. We'll put it that way. Back in the early 90s.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s. I think we actually played Lourdes on one of my one of my homecomings in Oakfield, Wisconsin. I think my junior year we played Lourdes. It's the only year I think we won homecoming. We got crushed every other year. We didn't win many games in high school. But back then it was Oshkosh Lourdes, and we did well against them.
He strike another first down here for Dodgeland. Now on the 43-yard line. And the clock will stop for a timeout, which means we can probably squeeze in one more commercial break here. We'll come back and probably have the completion of this one. 48-7 is your score. Back after this.
Oh, emojis. I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you.
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Zane!
Ah, yes. The homecoming memories.
Small town Indiana, small town Wisconsin.
Yes.
Looks like we got some subs in for Dodgeland.
Yeah, I don't see a strike in there anymore.
Yeah, Caden Bruger lined up at quarterback on that play.
Andrew Kreitzinger, I believe. Sophomore. 5'10", 155-pound sophomore in the backfield now. And he gets the call again. The ball is loose on the turf. I believe it bounced right back into his hands,
Yeah,
but it'll be a loss back at the 41. He lost 3. And with under 3 minutes left to play, we'll see if Dodgeland can find a way to get 6 more, at least put up on the board in these final 3 minutes. These are parts of the game where you just hope nobody gets hurt, right?
Right.
That's the number one thing.
Right, and I think
It is in every game, but I mean, especially something like this.
And I think what you see is Dodgeland has some good players. They've had some success moving the ball. Obviously, they've struggled defensively against the athletes that Lourdes has. You know, but for them, as they move on, into the season, their ability to hit some of those, like I had mentioned earlier, chunk plays, right? That's really going to be so important for them because it's hard for teams to drive 14, 15, 16 plays at 4 yards of play. It's really hard. And for the defense to get turnovers and force short fields. I mean, those are going to be things that are going to be critical to, ultimately if they're going to have more success in the second half of the season.
Kreitinger again was the carrier there. Makes it 4th down and a very long 5 on the 38-yard line. He'll go to the air, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tristan Hahn, the 6-foot, 140-pound sophomore. Goes incomplete, so it's a turnover on downs. Lourdes gets it back, and you just go to the victory formation. You run a play or two here.
I would kneel, but I'm pretty sure Coach Wopat is going to kneel. I've seen it all, though.
What about his players?
It's homecoming. They want to be done. They want to go home.
Time out. The clock stops with 1:11.
I think they want to sub, and they had too many of their starters run back out there.
Well, I guess we can kind of start our post-game comments right now. What are you taking away from this one? I'm very, very impressed, and all that and then some here for these Lourdes Academy Knights. They are going to roll again.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking obviously at two teams on different ends of the spectrum. I mean, 5 games into the year, Lourdes is going to be 5-0. Dodgeland is going to be 1-4. Obviously, different fortunes so far this year. But truthfully, as the year moves on, Dodgeland has the opportunity to, get back to 500. They obviously have to go on a winning streak to do that. But you saw them, through the players that they have, move the ball. And if they can, shorten the field defensively, if they can hit some chunk plays, if they can hit long runs like they did, there's something there. It's just there's not enough tonight against Lourdes. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Lourdes going to go to 5-0. There's a nice run out to near a first down.
Yeah,
let's give him some credit here. Liam Hamill, only a freshman, 5'11", 185-pounder. One of only, I see 4 freshmen on this Knights roster.
Yeah, and on Lourdes and Joey, again, as advertised, good athletes. I think in the first half, the game plan that Coach Wopat had, offensively, Coach Hoffmaster defensively, they executed. Their athletes won in space, and they are a team that people are going to have to pay attention to.
By the way, so much for the kneel down, huh?
Yeah, forget that.
This again is Hamill.
Really good play defensively there.
Now that should do it.
Lewis White with a great tackle, beat the block as a D lineman. Again, we don't give enough credit to those O&D linemen. So when he makes a play like that, that's awesome.
That is indeed going to do it for this one. Second game is now in the books with your final score. 48-7 as Lourdes continues to roll. They win again, 48-7. They have not given up very many points all season long. Only 40 points total that they have given up in the first half of the season, as we are now officially into the second half of the season, and they win again here tonight, 48-7. Let's take a look once again and see what they have coming up here for each of these teams. For Lourdes, they now will head to Randolph before coming back home for their last home game of the season already. Hard to say that. Cambria-Friesland coming to town. For Dodgeland, well, they drop another one here tonight. They're 4th in a row. They're now just 1-4 overall and hit the road to Parkview, Albany, and Partyville for their next couple of games. As far as our broadcast, our next week broadcast, it'll be Wrightstown and Little Chute. That should be a fun contest for next week as well. All right, final thoughts here on this one, Mr. John Dinsey.
People in Division 5, Division 6 should pay attention to Lourdes because they are a good football team. They're fundamentally sound. They have good athletes, and it is not just their offense. Their defense is good, and they are a team that we're going to see in playoff time.
Nina wins the first one 23-13 over Oshkosh West. Lourdes beating Dodgeland in game 2, 48-7. Thank you so much to all of our fine sponsors. Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Creative Imprint, and Julian Strategic Alliance Group. That is going to do it for my broadcast partner, John Dinsey. Adam Van Handel here on the camera. I am Joey D bidding you farewell from UW-Oshkosh, where, again, your final score in Game 2, Lourdes 48 and Dodgeland 7. This has been a presentation of Woodward Communications.